UsualSuspect6.com.
This day, to this day, to this day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Brought to you by Usual Suspect 6.
UsualSuspect6.com. UsualSuspect6.com.
It's a Usual Suspect thing.
In Wilmington and Delaware, here is the battle-tested veteran, Kyrone. Shut it down, Davis.
A lot of shit I could say, a whole lot of shit I could, but I ain't gonna do you that way. I got a whole lot of shit as I stay. If I'm in the Better her shit like a corner, looking for smoke like a.
We're back. Welcome back. This is episode 7, Tales from the B-Side, brought to you by the Usual Suspect 6 and Sports Talk Nation. What's going on, Thomas?
What's
Come
good,
on,
man?
Thomas,
What's good,
right
Coach?
here, man? What's going on with you, man? We're supposed to have a special guest. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what we see. But how you doing this evening, champ?
I'm chilling, man. I can't call it. I'm trying to rest up. I was at the fights last night here in New Jersey. The Vito Mielecki fight. He washed the guy. He fought this Polish guy. Don't even know his name. But the Jai Tucker Simpson fight was really good.
Yeah,
that was the best fight of the night. Really, really good fight.
Man, was Truck having a hard time picking up the cadence of Jahai?
I think a little bit. It's funny. I was with my boy Sock, right? And Sock has been MIA on my channel a lot. I mean, Sock has been around a long time with these fighters. He's a strength and conditioning coach, and he knows a lot of fighters in the area. And he was telling me he knows Jahai for a long time, from Brooklyn and the amateurs. And that he said that this guy, he's just hyper. He's just, everything he does is hyper. He's just full speed ahead, and he doesn't stop moving. And he even joked around. He said, I know his mom probably got a check. So I was just like, and I think that's a little awkward for a guy like Simpson. He landed some good shots. He was trying to pick his shots. And I think the activity alone won Jahai the fight. It was definitely closer than 7 rounds to 3 as the judges scored it. I would say 6-4. You could question it could have been a draw because I think Simpson landed the better shots of the fight. If Jahai had some pop, he might have got a little bit more respect. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna tell you something. This was probably the first fight I've seen up close where the ring was really small, 14 by 14. So Jahai had nowhere to run. It was 14 by 14.
14 by 14?
Yeah, it was a small ring. There was no running, no way. You had to, there was nowhere to go, So, but it was a good, entertaining fight. I thought it was close. I thought it was closer than what the scorecards were, So.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna touch too much on that because I know we got the upcoming week and that's all we gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Last week's episode, you know what I'm saying? What were your thoughts on that? Because that show did some numbers, man. I had a lot of people really tap in about, John Iceman Scully.
No, I thought it was very educational as far as when he's telling about going overseas and, that they were trying to, what were they trying to do with him overseas? I don't know if it was him or one of his fighters, but they were threatening him or something like that, or they put him in in a hotel where, there was a lot of noise or something like that. It was
the train on one side, and then they had the the party functionings in bars and stuff.
Yeah. And that wasn't the one in Russia. There was another story told in Russia. I can't get it, but that was in Boston. That I would remember. In Boston, he had him on the L, and there was a train on the other side. It had the bars and everything, and they were going crazy. So it was a fight he had scheduled in Boston, but
that was coincidental hotel selection.
Yeah, definitely. So,
but yeah, you know what I'm saying. But Iceman, he spoke to a lot about how he, you know what I'm saying, looks out for fighters, and I seen on his social media, you know what I'm saying, the event that he had, and I seen some of the fighters. I seen Sean Porter, he was there. Yeah. Sean Porter was surprisingly the smallest guy, looked like the smallest guy there. You know
Kevin Kelly was there. Kevin Kelly looked bigger than Sean Porter. Yeah. And Kevin Kelly's a little guy, man. But no, it's good to see. That's what he does, man. You know, and they get him together. They, you know, I think what Iceman Scully is doing, I think a lot of other fighters should do. You know, and remember, Iceman Scully, you know, he was never world champion. He fought for the title, I think, once, you know, and, you know, he may not be as popular as like other fighters. And you wish that other fighters more popular would get more involved. Like, you know, it's nice to see Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly was a big name for a while in the mid 90s, you know, especially here in the New York area, you know, but it'd be good if, you know, other fighters would go ahead and do this and help, you know, retired fighters like, you know, one in particular, oh my God, from the Bronx. And now I'm getting a brain fart. Who's my guy from the Bronx that he fought Duran? He beat Duran. Oh my God, he fought Hearns. But he was just recently. He was just recently in the hospital, and you know, and you know, he's out now. But you know, he wasn't doing too well. But helping fighters like that, you know, like him. It's gonna come to me later. I don't know why I can't get it.
It'll pop up.
Yeah. So,
but that comes from, you know what I'm saying, who the person is, who their character is. You know what I'm saying, how they actually rate what their integrity is. So, and then we talked about it on several different shows. It's about the people that you have around you. You know what I'm saying. So when you got a positive group around you, you know what I'm saying, you tend to pull positive back out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, and not just to give it to people, but you seeing somebody like maybe a guy. Like we see guys go through trilogies and then we wonder how they become best friends, or, you know what I'm saying, afterwards. Yeah. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's because I shared so much time with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And they probably made a lot of money together. You know, so they needed each other.
But over time, I see you go on a decline, whether it's something CTE related or something bone related or something, you know what I'm saying, just hereditary, you know what I'm saying, and I just see you go on a decline, and I see you didn't manage your money as good as I managed mine. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying, it's just a brotherhood, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because like in the military, fraternities, boxing in a sense is a fraternity in itself. So I understand, guys, you know what I'm saying, is a prize fighting situation where you're here to make money. But when you get to the certain point, you get so much money that you be like, I'm not just giving it away, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking out. Something that extends something that when they turn back, they were like, damn, he added something to the forward progress.
Yeah. No, most definitely. I mean, and you know, one of the reasons why we do the show is like, you know, we get the stories of, you know, the good and the bad, and you know, mostly the bad, and how they adapted to the bad and educate people to avoid, you know, those things. And at the same time, what they're doing now is either fighters or retired fighters, you know, to progress, and, you know, giving a heads up to people, especially young ones early on in their careers, on what they should do and what they should look out for. You know, and Ice brought a little bit extra to the table because he brought up, you know, trying to help these fighters that haven't, you know, been fighting for a long time, and it's like you said, some of them didn't manage their money well, and, you know, they don't have money, and they have to go, and they got medical bills, you know, and other things they got to take care of, you know, besides supporting their families. You know, if you didn't have the best career and you got hit a lot, you know, at the end of the day, all these fighters are getting hit a lot. I don't care how good you are, you know, because, you know, besides the actual fights within itself, you know, the sparring and the preparation, you're getting hit in the face, hit in the head too, you know. So, you know, and it's good to look out for these fighters, and, you know, because CTE is real, you know, brain damage is real, you know. One example is, you know, man, my name's is killing me. The Puerto Rican guy that he's being taken care of his sister right now. And Iceman brought him up. He's up in Chicago. His sister's taking care of him. One of the greatest Puerto Rican fighters to ever do it. I can't get his name. I don't know why I can't get names today. What's wrong with me?
What's going on with you?
I don't know. So I've been doing so much research and looking into Kyrone. Benitez, thank you. Jesus. I can't even get Benitez. Thank you, fella.
You've relaxed too much.
Benitez. Yeah. Nah.
Put your shoes on.
Benitez.
Benitez. Yeah, how you got stuck down in South America.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. And he started fighting. He was world champion at 17 years old. So you imagine how young he started fighting. I got another guy, the guy I do radio with, told me that he thinks that Benitez's father should have been locked up because he was putting his son with grown men at a young age, and he was taking all those punches and that all those fights by grown men, and he was still developing his mastery. 17, 18 years old. So just imagine a guy like Benitez. He can't take care of himself. Put it that way.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I said, that ties back to the people you have around you. You know what I'm saying? They may not be there for your best interest. And it's supposed to be family.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be family. So at the same time, it's all about the people that you have around. And if they're really there for your best intentions, what resource are they looking to provide? Because something has to turn. You know what I'm saying? I understand, because if I'm the one getting up to go make the donuts for everybody, are y'all damn going to provide the customers or some kind of ingredient or the special, the secret ingredient? You know what I'm saying? What are y'all going to provide if I'm the one that got to go run the whole show? And I don't have a problem with doing that. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that's around you. Yeah. And once you hit a certain tax bracket, everybody almost you squint your eyes, they look like leeches. So, like I said, it's some people that's there for the good, but then, like I said, the way damn social media is now, man, it always pans out that somebody wasn't always there for the good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a nasty business, man. So
it really is. It's especially now, I'm but I'm speaking to a lot of young fighters, guys that just became pros. The reason why I went last night, I wanted to go see a fighter that made his pro debut, and then I met up with another fighter we interviewed that has 2 pro fights. And, it's a grind. It's a grind trying to get fighters, at your weight. Keith Kyrone was there last night as well. Now he's got 6 fights in 1 year. And I'm talking about 1 year span. He started his career July of last year. And he's 6-0, and we're almost in July. So that's six fights, but he had a couple fights where, they pulled out, and the struggle, speaking to him and his pops, is that finding guys at his weight class to take the fight. It's a grind, and it goes the same as, I'm sure, as the other younger fighters that are trying to get fights now and trying to get exposures. It's a grind, and these guys always got to be on weight and always got to be prepared, and such a case of this show, Tales of the B-Side, they may end up being on the B-Side, but they have to be ready from week to week, and be as close to weight as possible. So,
with me, I guess I'm old school in nature with that. That's what I kind of expect from the young guys. 6 times a year, yeah. I need you early and often. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you ready? You supposed to be ready, because this is your probationary period.
Yeah.
Can you be ready? Are you ready? Yeah. So that's the whole concept behind it. You know what I'm saying? Can I be ready when it's time for me to be ready? I might get a call. Like I said, my life may change just like that.
Yeah.
You may go from fighting in church cafeterias to boom, you get a phone call and you under the lights for Showbox or something, a Pro Box.
Yeah.
Just, saying, like that, just out of nowhere, and you just like, damn. So it'd behoove the young guys to be ready. So just in case, and even like I said, they're going to be B-sides unless you got a lot of financial backing. You got a good support system, and they're going to be paying for you to be on the flip side.
Yeah. So eventually, I think in the beginning stages, a lot of these fighters that got good amateur pedigrees, like these fighters that I'm covering and help promoting now, they have some financial backing because they're the ones looking for the fights, and they have to pay, the promotional companies and pay the fighters, and maybe have to pay the opponents too, and set up with them, with the opponent's managers. So, for the most part, they're kind of the A side in the beginning because they're just trying to get rounds and trying to get these kids exposure. So, but eventually, if they're not signed to a big promotion, if they're not signed to even Pro Box, if you're not with Pro Box or with top rank Matchroom, etc., eventually they're going to be the B side, and that's just the way it is, So, and they have to be ready, and they have to be on call if they want to be world champions, to eventually get signed by a big promoter, So it's a crazy business, and little by little I'm starting to understand and learn, and learn the grind, from how boxing really is. I only see it as a fan on the outside, but little by little, talking to these people, speaking with you and your experiences, with Gano, speaking with his experiences, and and other people in the game, and as fighters themselves. I got a friend who's got a fight coming up next month in a few weeks. They listed him on the card, but he's technically, I don't think he has an opponent yet, and they're trying to get an opponent. He was supposed to have a fight a few months ago, and the opponent pulled out, and there was no fight. He hasn't fought since last June, and I think he's a phenomenal fighter. He fights at 130, and I think he can be a champion at 130. But he's not with a big promotion, and he has to grind to try to get people to watch him and look at him, and so it's unfortunate, but that's what some of these fighters have to do in order to get exposure and to get brought and get a big opportunity.
And that's a sticky situation, man. You know what I'm saying? When they sign you to a card and then they say you don't have an opponent, are they trying to withhold something? Like I said, that could be a fishy game that they're playing. Are they trying to withhold? Do they already know who my opponent is? They're just withholding it until
it could be that. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it's a lot of shenanigans that can go through. You know what I'm saying, when trying to be prepared. And now in that position as a fighter, you don't know how to be prepared. You got to try to universally train.
Yeah.
And you don't know at the same time, this dude pops up as a southpaw.
Yeah.
And you're like, man.
It's true. As I look in I look in the chat, I see my boy Jose. Tell us about that boxing Fire. Salute to you, Fire. He has a lot of stories. He came up, he fought in the amateurs, but he's been around for years covering fighters. And I know he has some stories too, just covering fighters and listening to them and doing interviews, So shout out to you, Jose Fire. I mean, he's followed fighters since the early 2000s, So he's got stories. He's told me some stories himself about, what fighters had to go through. It's, here in New York, so. It's a crazy game, man. It's a crazy game.
Wait till we get somebody on that had the flip side of the game, that got that call, and that they're world champion, because they upset the whole apple cart. You know what I'm saying? I'm
trying to think. It's happened. The more recent one I know that it was short notice, and is probably Andy Ruiz. That's the one that comes to mind. Like he was a short notice, right? He filled in for this dude from Brooklyn. Obviously my names is not there today, but it was supposed to be here in New York. The guy, he not overdosed, but he had so many PEDs in him.
Big Baby Miller.
Big Baby Miller, yeah. So they scratched on the card. Here comes Andy Ruiz, and he capped. Obviously, he's from the West Coast, had to come to New York. And it was short notice. I don't know how many weeks notice it was short, but at the end of the day, that's one that comes to mind where he got a championship opportunity and became world champ.
See, short guys like that, like when Andy got that call, I think he just went back to his origins of fighting in the streets, because as a boxer, you're throwing straight punches. You know what I'm saying? Boxers, especially somebody like Anthony Joshua.
Yeah,
straight punches. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really loading up too many hooks until he set you up. Andy Ruiz said, "Know what? I'm gonna do what any short guy should do when they can see that you're throwing the short punches. Get off and press the chest." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So as he was loading up, boom, boom. Same thing that Joseph Parker, you know what I'm saying, did in the Deontay Wilder situation.
Well, yeah, he put a lot of
stayed in
pressure on
his
Mo.
chest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He stayed in this
Yeah.
do not allow the taller fighter that I know is going to throw straight punches.
Yeah.
Don't allow him to breathe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he smothered him a lot too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's what Andy did to AJ in the first fight.
Yeah.
Like completely caught him off guard. You know what I'm saying? You like when you play a guy's chest like that, it's just bombs away. Now they got to play defense and try to wait, you know what I'm saying, weigh it off everything that's being thrown.
Yeah. You know, and think about this with Ruiz in that situation, he could have easily tapped out right away because he got dropped early.
Man, Campbell Andy always gets dropped.
But I'm just saying, but like to get short notice, world title fight, he could have tapped out and be like, I took this fight short notice, but credit to he got back up and then he wins, the way he did by stoppage. So
some fights when Andy would get dropped, that was like a switch.
Yeah.
Get dropped, let's go. It's time to go get to it now. So, but yeah. I got word that I guess will be arriving shortly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, where were you? Did you had credentials last night, or you just bought a ticket?
I had the credentials. So it was pretty cool. They didn't have. It didn't really have a big crowd for. That's a big arena. The Prudential Center holds like 20,000. They cut off the top, but still, it was a lot of empty seats. And I think it was more empty because I think the people that came to support their fighters, they left after their fighter fought. Yeah. But Vito had a lot of people there for him. A lot of kids were there for him too. It was a nice little thing at the end where there's a bunch of kids came. He went after the fight, didn't go to the locker room. He went and hung out with the kids for a little bit. But the card was okay. There was a couple of good knockouts, but nothing too crazy. Like I said, I went to go see Nims Muad Abdul Salam. He won by majority decision. The first 2 rounds I missed. I got there late. But from what I heard, it was close the first 2, but the third and fourth, he definitely, he hurt the guy a couple of times, and credit to him.
I don't want to cut you off, champ, but you know what I'm saying. Our guest has arrived.
Okay.
Bring him on in. Without further ado, we got Kyrone Shut It Down Davis in the house.
What's going on, man?
What's going on with you, champ? How you doing?
All right.
Just like a rapper show up fashionably late, huh?
I'm running around with my family, and I knew I had this, but I thought we'd be done by now. But we ain't. But I'm on here.
Hey man, you supposed to tell them, man, it's Sunday, man. I'm supposed to be chilling with my shoes off, man.
Yeah, they got this reggae fest out here, and they wanted to come hang out, so we out here.
Okay, yeah. They got a lot of stuff going on around here too. You know what I'm saying? I dipped in and dipped back out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is Tales from the B-side, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We brought you on because, you know what I'm saying, we've seen you in certain situations where either you dared to be great or you just got that call, and we want to hear about, you know what I'm saying, what happened, you know what I'm saying, along the way. And then, like, for instance, like the Elijah Garcia fight, you know what I'm saying? I heard you had 2 different dates for that fight. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to touch on telling us a few stories about, you know what I'm saying, when the commission or promotional teams or management or anybody decide they want to try to play around with you in the game.
I mean, anytime that you're in a position where you're not the favorite, it's gonna be some type of treatment that is negative. Not necessarily always on purpose, but they can't help it because they have a basically a decision that they want, and they're just trying to move forward with it. It's almost like having a plan and then somebody in there messing up your plans, and sometimes that's what the B-side is. Somebody who can mess up the plans if everything doesn't go right. And I've been in a bunch of situations where I wasn't favored to win, I wasn't brought into the ring to win, and I had to shake things up. I mean, it's always a unique situation every single time. It's always different, but it always tells the truth.
You got anything in particular, any fight in particular that comes to mind?
It was real unique. I'm gonna give you a real unique one. I fought Junior Castillo, my first loss that I ever had. I came in that fight as the A side, but when I got to the arena, I was the B side.
How do you do that?
It was the weirdest thing that I've ever. I was the A side on all because it was a pre-BC, but I'm an early PPC guy. Like me, I was on PPC like when PPC first. Like I was PPC before PPC was PPC. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? I was with I was fighting on Golden Boy cards. But when for all the advertisement before the fight, I was the A side of the fight. I'm fighting an undefeated 9-0 Olympian, but I was a 10-0 blue chick prospect that everybody was talking about. And but when I got to the arena in Sands Casinos in Bethlehem, if all the posters that was on the display had him as the A side, and when I walked into the arena, we walk in and we do our back check, and we going into the locker rooms. I was in the B side locker room, and
Wow.
I was B side on all the, and that was the weirdest situation for me. We try to just like play it off, but I'm like, what's going on?
So you say
It
Do
so
you
you
think?
saying you was on your way into the A side and they say, hey, over
yeah,
here, man.
because it was back when they was doing that toe to toe Tuesday.
Oh man.
So when the TV read it, I was the A side, but everything else that you usually would receive being the A side, it was not that when I got to the event. So like I was they treated me weird. They treated me really weird. It was under King's I know why. It was under King's Promotions, and the guy who I fought, he was under King's Promotions. Even though the PPC card, it's almost like King's Promotions is contracted to throw the card. See what
Wow.
I'm saying? So PPC, yeah, it was almost like so it was like PPC contracted them to throw the card. So since the promotion had Reigns throw the card, when we got actually at the event, it appeared that I was the B side, and I was treated like that throughout the night.
Wow.
So two things about that. So one, did that mess up your mindset going into the fight? And two, do
No,
you
because
think that?
at that time I was so oblivious to it.
Okay.
Talking about you're way younger than me. I was so not even into the any of that. But uh, yeah, I didn't even see anything about that. I was just like, I'm gonna win regardless.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we was in a fight, and it was actually a close fight, and I ended up losing when I thought I was. I don't think I deserved the loss, but
So that was going to be my other question. Like, you think that affected the scorecards?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely,
Wow, that's
absolutely,
crazy.
absolutely. Because even the promoter was getting up and he was talking to people close to to the judges. So the judges was ringside, but like close, but his chair was next to the judge. It was just a lot of like stuff
Yeah,
going
that's
on
crazy.
as the fight was going on that I didn't learn about. What's going on? How you doing? That I didn't learn about until after the fact.
So did you? What about your
Can you hear
team
me?
at that point? Like your team? Did your team say anything to PBC? Because PBC was your promoter. Did y'all have any type of like beef with them? Like what is this? Or like
Can you hear me?
did you hear? I don't know if you heard the question. You're on mute.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay, okay.
Can you hear me
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Can you hear me
yeah.
now? Yeah.
Did you hear the question, Kai?
What do you ask?
No, I was saying. So did your team put up like a beef with your promotion
I
at the
didn't hear the
time?
question.
Huh?
You
Can
got
you
a
hear me?
delay now. Yep, you got a delay now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But man,
Yeah.
I'm the A
Oh,
side, and then you turn around and you flip me, and then you make me the B side. There you go.
yeah. You came in and out.
Yeah, you on mute though. Oh, they got a call.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
That's crazy. I never heard of that before.
never heard of it. You're promoted as the A side. You're led in as the A side. Because look, and PBC was the bigger promotional company. They just didn't house it.
Yeah.
And
Or they got bullied or for whatever reason the night of or the week of by the other promotion or or they lied to him the whole way through.
wow.
Maybe they weren't upfront with him from the
That's how
get
they
go.
sold it off.
You know what I'm
That's how
saying? Like it could have. I mean, that's crazy. That's what I want to see. Like, did his team put up a beef or like with the PBC or the promoter of the fight as to why things went down that way? And it's hard to protest something like that. Because you only protest what happens in the ring. But
yeah.
that's crazy.
Like, yep, I was mishandled before the fight. You know what I'm saying? And like, and whether it did or it didn't, I can say it messed with my psyche. You don't know if it did or if it didn't. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I decided to want to play that kind of game, I'm like, bro, it messed up my whole mental. It threw me off. We need to run it back, and y'all need to be on y'all down.
That's crazy. I never heard of anything like that, and I don't think he got a chance to avenge that loss either. So they were both undefeated. They were both undefeated at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So Junior Castillo was 9-0. It was an 8-round fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he dropped out. We're gonna see if he gonna come back in. You know what I'm saying? But even if not, you know what I'm saying, we still got a story. We got something. Yeah, we got something.
That was definitely unique. That was definitely
that was
different.
A unique story. Yep, that was different. That's something for the record books right there.
Nah, for sure. I'm trying to see this. I never heard of that guy that much. I'm trying to look to see what he's done, but he hasn't really done anything either. He lost his next fight after that, and he was dropped twice. But that's wow. That is crazy. You go in thinking, the A side, you're comfortable. This got to mess up your mindset at some point, because you have the advantage. It's like home field advantage. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you still got to perform in the ring, but that psyche kind of changes. And I know he's telling us like he was ready to win and he was upset and stuff, but there's something in your mind like, it has to be, in my opinion, I think. That says to you, like, they're gonna screw me somehow, some way, somehow. If this happens to me now,
maybe the younger you, maybe the younger you may have looked at it through the lens of somebody say, "Oh no, we ain't over there, we over here," and the younger you like, "Oh well, I'm still going out here to do work." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But somebody that got a little skin in the game, you know what I'm saying? You done seen a few things, and they say, "You not staying in the Marriott." You over here at the Red Roof Inn, and you like, what you mean? Why? What's going on?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's here to throw you.
That's
crazy. Not what my paperwork says. My paperwork says this.
Yeah.
Or you ain't getting the paperwork.
But your game plan may switch up too. You may have went into that fight with a certain game plan, to box or do this and do that. But then this happened. Is like, what? I may need to. In the back of my mind, I may really need to drop this guy once or stop this guy because I ain't going to win in the scorecards. I'm not saying that he thought like that or anyone should think like that. But I think in the back of your mind, there's a little tweak that says like, you know what, I need to do a little bit extra. And it takes you a little bit out of your game plan, So that's crazy.
Man. But, well,
salutes everybody in the chat. I see you guys going along with this.
In the chat. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Your first time, you know what I'm saying? This won't be your last time. We'll be back again next week. The guest will be TBA.
So I might as well just speak about it now because I've been working to get this guy for a minute, and I saw him last night. I was shocked that the broadcasting team, they had Paulie and Raul Marquez in the broadcast team for the event. So I was like, oh wow. So my boy Sock is with me. He knows Raul and he knows Paulie. But I've been trying to get Raul Marquez for a minute because I have his number, but I usually send emails first, and then maybe I'll text him like, oh, I shot you an email. Because I don't like to stress people. So I saw Raul last night and I was like, oh, Raul, what's up, man? I've been trying to get a hold of you. He's like, and he told me he's been really busy, and then he had something done, a procedure. So like he's gonna try. So I'm supposed to touch base with him. I'm gonna wait till like Monday, Tuesday. So I'm aiming to get him. He was flying back to Houston today to go see his kids play. His kid plays Little League. So and they like in a big tournament. I guess it's big in Texas, 7 and 8 year old tournaments. I was like, wow. So so he was telling me that, and then he saw Sock, and he knows who Socrates is and stuff. Paulie went right to the stands and gave him. I was like, wow. So like, Sock really knows these people, So not that I'm thinking about Paulie because Paulie's been the B-side too, but I'm trying to get Raul first, and then I'm gonna see if Sock can get Paulie for us at another time because Paulie's busy. He's about to fight again, bare knuckle.
Why? Come on, Paulie. Oh man, Paulie.
So hopefully I'll see either though. If that, I got a couple other people in mind just in case, but I think Raul would be really good because Raul obviously was an A-side fighter in the beginning as well. He was an Olympian, world champion.
I think we got him back. I think we got him back. We got you back, champ.
Yep.
All right, we got him back.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We was talking about our next week's episode that we might be getting. Who'd you say?
I was thinking Raul. I was trying to get Raul Marquez.
Raul Marquez on next week. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. See, you on the move, you're gonna be spotting in and out. So, like I said, we ain't gonna hold you too much longer, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you can tell us about the shenanigans that maybe possibly went on with that Elijah Garcia fight with those switching and flopping of the dates.
Yeah, I mean that was situation where the first time we were supposed to fight, he ended up getting sick, and like the day before weigh-in, he got sick, and then the fight got called off the day before the weigh-in after the press conference, and well, not even after the press conference, the morning of the weigh-in, the fight got canceled, saying that he was sick. Actually, we it was on my way.
So now that right there, that stings because money that you kicked out for camp.
So I was able to get some money. They gave me some money, but it wasn't what I was getting paid. Nowhere near where I was getting paid for the fight. But they gave me some money. What I will say is, being the B side that I am, I've grown since I've been in the game so long. I've had so many connections where like I'm not on an island as a B side. Where I think there's levels to being on the B side. You see guys that come right, they'll be called on the B side from the streets. I've been in the game so long, I know everybody.
Yeah.
I'm like at this point in my career, I'm the B side, but when I come in the B side, I know everybody. Like if I put it like this, Elijah Garcia is the A side, but the whole company knows me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The company, all the new guys, all the old guys, all the people that have been around for a while. I was there when they first started, and the new guys, they look at me like, "Oh, you've been here." So like I'm the B side, but I have pedigree in the game where it's like it's respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even my last fight, I probably was treated like the A side. Being moved, the way that I was positioned.
Oh, he just went out.
Went through a tunnel or something. The Rapture got him, man.
Yeah, he's definitely well respected because he's good. Oh, okay, there goes. You went out for a minute, so I was trying to add to. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. He just went out again. Yeah, that's
yeah. Skywalker Boxing Media got a good point there. Gonna talk about the top rank experience.
Yeah, but Kyrone got a good pedigree. He's been in the ring with a lot of great fighters. I think he sparred and did work with Triple G. Mm-hmm. I saw he did Andrade. He was in the ring with him. So he's definitely respected in the game. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, big time. So yeah, I was gonna ask him, what would he recommend and to other fighters coming up in the game.
See there? What we got? You gonna have to fall out and come back in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So let him drop him out. Yeah. But
so I just want to see, I was gonna ask him what advice he has for young fighters in the game, and I was gonna tell him especially the young fighters that I know of in New Jersey, if he knows of them, what he would what advice he can bring, but and then I was gonna ask him about his singing career. I think he raps, right?
Yeah, he's a rapper.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask him about that. So I know he does music.
Yeah, we had quite a bit. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you said that in the beginning. Coming in like a rapper. As soon as you said that, I knew why you said it. That was funny. Oh man. But
we're gonna see, man. He having technical difficulties because he's on the road moving around, and you know what I'm saying, ride through wherever he is. You know what I'm saying, you got dead spots. Then
so is he currently still in Delaware?
I don't know where he is right now, but you know what I'm saying, wherever he is, he's with family. So if he's with family, he most likely is there. And they're celebrating the Juneteenth festivities for over the weekend, because that's what, you know what I'm saying, Virginia, you know what I'm saying, a lot of Virginia look like. Like we had a park here that people drove and got caught up in traffic outside of the park and took an hour from the outside of the park to get into the inside to find parking.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's like they really, you know what I'm saying, went all out this year for Juneteenth this year. So you know what I'm saying. I had Thursday off, so I've been dipping in, dipping out a little stuff here and there since Thursday. So
okay.
Yeah. So one day it's gonna get to the level of the way y'all turn up for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, like shut those streets down.
No, eventually it's gonna get like that. I mean, the Puerto Rican Day Parade is huge over here in New York, but I think still the St. Patrick's Parade is probably the biggest parade.
I ain't never been up there for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, but I've been up there for the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Like I said, just going through the streets, trying to maneuver. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You see how crazy it gets.
Yeah, these crazy Puerto Ricans. I'll tell you right now, I haven't been to a Puerto Rican parade since 1999.
Damn.
Never again. Too many people, man. I can't deal with them people, man. Since 1999, I went in 98, then I went in 99, and I said, no mas. That's it. No mas. That was the last time I went. So,
look, hey, Thomas, we're going to rock out for maybe 4 more minutes. We're going to see what we get. If we don't get nothing, you know what I'm saying, folks, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we'll see y'all. You know what I'm saying, when we see you. But other than that, yeah, man, that's it's different times. Maybe when I was young, I used to love that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like festivals, and I wanted to come to New York for New Year's, but I was like, that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because Vegas ruined that for me. I went to Vegas one year for New Year's, and we was on the Strip, and the Strip turned into its own like entity. Like if it was moving one way and you wasn't going that way, it was gonna move you in the direction that the wave was going. Because bro, you had people flooding in one direction, people flooding, and it was like the two oceans mixing. Pacific and the Atlantic ain't never supposed to mix, but everything was mixing. You was losing people, and that look. What was this? This was 2015, bro. So cell phone service was trash because you had over 100,000 people on the Strip.
Wow.
So we was 15 deep. By the time I made it to the win, I think it was 3 of us.
Jesus, I just don't like being around so many people. I think the last big thing I went to was the Yankees World Series parade in 19.
You got them back.
98, I think it was.
I think we got them back.
I'm good now. I'm home.
So this dude be moving and shaking, man. He went from outside sitting out there sipping tea and crumpets, there people watching, to riding backseat to
yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm home now. We good now. I'm on a wildfire.
I was about to question that phone, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna clown the phone, but just joking around. Because they joke with me all the time. Like we had Ishe a few weeks, and he always be clowning me and my Wi-Fi, be saying I got an Obama phone and shit. So I
was on the network. I was on the network, but I'm home now, so we should be good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man. We had somebody pop up in the chat, and they said, "Tell us about your top rank experience."
I don't have any top rank experience. I have a top rank experience.
You never been over on top rank.
I never been over a top rank. Yeah,
you never cross promotion and fought with them.
Nah, I never had to do anything like that.
Okay.
He might have been asking me that question because I was at the event last night.
Okay.
Because I was at the Prudential Center. He probably was asking me that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't recall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he might have jumped over there for a fight or something. Might have got outsourced or something.
Yeah.
No, Thomas, what were you going to ask him about? You know what I'm saying? Before you.
No, I was going to see. So a couple things. So one, what would you tell young fighters in the game now, like to look out for? Them moving up in their career, and maybe most likely being the B side as they move up in their career if they're not signed with a big promotional company.
Take your time. That's probably what I would say. Take your time.
Okay.
It's not a rush. Sometimes we want to get somewhere fast, but it's not always the best way. You take your time, you get there, you get
Yeah.
at your own pace. You're not running out of time. As exciting as it is being at a certain level, um, it's hard to be at the level, and once you're there, you're there. So take your time.
Okay. Do you know any of? I know you was born in Jersey. You know any of the young Jersey fighters now?
No, I was born in Jersey, but I live in Delaware, so
Okay.
I'm not really on a Jersey scene. So I wouldn't know
Okay.
any Jersey fighters that's coming up.
Okay. Yeah, because I was out there last night, and I help promote some of the young prospects coming up now, and they're from Jersey. They're from a gym called Ironbound. So, yeah.
Man, that kind of turns into, you know what I'm saying, what probably my last question that I have for you, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, yeah. But this show is about the B-sides, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if you're the founder of the foundation or if you're just part of the foundation, but Down to Fight.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and I know that, you know what I'm saying, those are societies, you know what I'm saying, considered society's B-sides, you know what I'm saying? Can you speak to, you know what I'm saying, this foundation and, you know what I'm saying, what it is that you are trying to, you know what I'm saying, do when it comes to
Well,
that?
yeah, Down the Box Foundation. That's a nonprofit organization that is catered to kids and adults with Down syndrome.
Okay.
So it teaches, it gives them a boxing platform, teaches them how to box and the skills of boxing, which is good for their coordination, good for their discipline, and all those type of things. So it gives them avenue to learn boxing, but through but having Down syndrome. So, and I'm a part of it by helping to raise awareness and getting people to donate and find out about the program so they can help or donate or to the cause.
Okay. Yeah, because everybody that we bring on usually, you know what I'm saying, like they come on and they tell us, you know what I'm saying, something as far as something that occurred to them as far as boxing, but then also coincidentally they'll be tied to something outside of boxing that, you know what I'm saying, helps someone. You know what I'm saying, whether it's another boxer or, you know what I'm saying, just your fellow man, you know what I'm saying, the fellow that, you know what I'm saying, the next man, the brother man helping the next man. So and I had heard that in the interview, you know what I'm saying, just ear hustling. And I wanted to shout you out for that because I was like, everybody don't take the time to, you know what I'm saying, take the time.
Yeah, I think it's important to be able to in your own way give back in a certain kind of way. It's shown, or you can do it in different kinds of ways. There's not one way to do it. And I think that it's important to be able to reach back or not even reach back or reach to the side and be able to help out and show that that other things that people are doing certain kind of things, and it deserves recognition.
That's what's up.
Yes,
That's what's
indeed.
up.
What is the? Do you have a website? Is it that we can go and check
So
out?
yeah, so it's not my I'm an ambassador for them, but it's Down to Box.
Down to Box.
Yeah, it's Delaware ran business
Okay.
nonprofit organization. They've been around for a while, but they're doing good things because they're getting programs across the country. They're showing people how to do what we're doing here, do it other places. It's a good program that and even throwing boxing shows and you know what I mean, and doing stuff like that to help the kids get fights and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's a good program. But Down and Box.
That's what's up, man. That's dope. And you're an ambassador for it, is correct?
Yeah, so I just
Okay.
shine light on this. So I'm basically doing what I'm doing right now. You ask
That's
me
what's up.
questions about it, and I tell you what to do. And downthebox.com, and you can find them on downthebox on Instagram.
Okay. Definitely going to do that, man. Salute to you for that, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and let us know, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about some of the music on the way out, man. Because our boy Fella, I remember when you was on this listening session. You know what I'm saying? You came through spinning some music, and I'm gonna tell you this real quick. You know what I'm saying? This is a sidebar. This ain't got nothing to do with the show. Somehow, some way, the song "Colors" ended up into my algorithm, and I was with a shorty, and somehow the song hit repeat, so it got stuck. So I appreciate you for that, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, no, but
Nah,
yeah, yeah,
Colors is Colors is one of those songs, and it's a unique song that I have, but it's one of those songs that you can play over and over because don't the vibe don't stop in that song. It's a continuous type of
and
vibe on
that's what
that
I'm
song.
saying. And look, it came on. I don't know if you know who Division is, but it came on right after one of his songs, and it seemed like it just flowed right into that. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, it's one of it's actually that's the music I like to make the most. So man, I appreciate that. But no, music. I mean, I'm always on music, even when I'm not putting out music. I'm making music. It's one of my things that I do, like just to help cope with my in life. You know what I mean? It's like a journal for me.
That's what's up.
So it's a way that I just express myself. So I'm always making music. I'm always angling out to see what the next project I'm gonna do and things like that. It's a part of me. So it's something I'm always going to do.
Mhm.
But before I had my last fight, we did before I started training camp. I threw a sold out show out here in Delaware. So music gets traction, and we just making better music, and we just gonna pick up the promotion on it, and I mean it's just good. Like at the end of the day, but music today is so oversaturated that to be able to hit a certain audience, you either get lucky or you get your core audience grows slowly. So we just making music. I mean, that's what I do. So I love it just as much as I love boxing.
So would you say, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of like your disconnect from boxing where you can, you know what I'm saying, decompress?
But I
You can
don't
say,
do it,
you know what I'm
but
saying?
I don't do it to disconnect from boxing, and I don't
Well, I'm
feel
also decompressed. You know what I'm saying? Like I need to let me inhale, exhale. Let me go step over here and let me breathe. Let me like find some normalcy in my life real quick because this is what I like to do. This is my, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's any like yin and yang to it. I think that is just something that I do. Like
Okay.
you know what I mean. Like you don't like I don't know. Like when I eat food, I don't be like, let me eat some pasta to offset the pizza that I had yesterday. Or let me have, you know what I mean? It's just something that I like. I just want to eat pasta. Like, yeah, do I ever have a reason? Like, I don't know if I
No,
have
but
a.
look, I was trying to get it to segue and just there trying to tell other boxers, hey, man, find your other outlet.
No, no,
Okay.
I think it is, in that I think it is important for boxers to find other things to do. I think that
Uh-huh.
it's important to find other ways to uh, us boxers we're very passionate, so to be able to be competitive in something else, I think that it is important to be able to do that. I think that boxing, anything that you do over and over and over again could dry you out, or
Mhm.
kind of wear you out. I think that it's important to find other parts of life, and it will make you a better boxer.
Mhm.
If that's family, if it's that's a business, if that's a passion, or maybe a calling, you know what I mean, something that you do that is bigger than anything. So I think that it is important to be able to do other things. I don't think you should be um just one sided doing one thing ever in life. So I think it's important to be able to be multifaceted in things and give yourself the best advantage in life. And then when you do the interviews and then when you do other things, people got other things to talk about. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
People can find you different kind of ways.
Mhm.
People find my music and be like, I didn't even know you box. You know what
Mm.
I mean? And people think the other thing I do in the community, like I do other things I do motivational speaking. I do like it's things that I do
Mhm.
that got nothing to do with other things that I do, but they're connected because it's all me.
It's
Yeah.
all you.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's what's
So
up.
they find out, they be like, okay, you box too. I think it's always funny when they say you box too.
Wow.
Because it's always seemed to be my career. But if when you find out I box too, almost as if that's an add on,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
Yeah. That's dope.
Makes sense, man. You know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and shut it down for this week, man. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people where they can find you and follow you at, Mr. PM.
Yeah,
Kai, shut it
yeah,
down.
you can find me on Kyle Shut It Down everywhere. You just type in Kyle Shut It Down on Google, and all my stuff should pop up everywhere. You should find me, hear me, and see me. So
That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you taking the time out of your Juneteenth weekend. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I know pulling and tugging on you and
what's
stuff.
crazy? I didn't even know it was Juneteenth weekend. This weekend been busy.
Mhm.
Like it's
That's
like
why.
My mom like, oh, we got a barbecue. We got it. I'm like, what is going on?
That's why.
And yeah, and it's crazy when you're not training. Everybody expects you to go to everything because I missed everything when I'm training. When I'm training, that's my excuse. I'm training.
Exactly.
When I'm not training, I gotta come.
Well, man, go ahead and get back to the family, man. Like I said again, man, I appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And anytime, you know what I'm saying, if you feel like you got a story, man, you know what I'm saying, come on back, man, because we're going to be here. You know what I'm saying? We tell from the side, man. So,
All right, man.
Appreciate you.
All right. Salute, bro.
And that was another
cool, man.
That was another good one, Thomas.
Yeah,
It was spotty. It was spotty, but we got it together.
That was cool, man. I like the charity work that that he's the ambassador for. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Down to box.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man.
That's dope right there, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got any last words for the people of the world, Thomas?
No, man, this was a good one, man. Another educational experience. I mean, look, the first one where the A side got flipped to the B side midweek of the fight. That's crazy. Like the day of the fight. That's great. I never heard that before. So definitely something new, something different. But yeah, man. I mean, he seems like he's got his life in order and he's doing great things. His mind is right. And boxing is it's his career, but it's not really like his number one. He's got other options that he's doing. So that's dope.
And it seems like everywhere he went, you know what I'm saying? And this is the gem that I pulled from it, man. B-side fighters, you know what I'm saying? Act like you've been here before. Build the rapport in the rooms. Like you know what I'm saying? Kyrone Davis pretty much told y'all that I know pretty much everybody when I go into these rooms. You know what I'm saying? So when I go on the B-side, people know me. I know some of them. I know all the guys on the A-side. You know what I'm saying? I know commissions. I know promotional guys. He said, I know the old guys. He said, I was here when PPC, you know what I'm saying, wasn't standing out like that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So that's something. Build relationships along the way. You ain't got to be these guys' friends, but get associated with them enough to, when they see you, they know who you are.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yep. So, we're gonna go ahead and close it up, man. You know what I'm saying? Once again, man, this has been Tales from the B-Side. Brought to you by the Usual Suspect 6 and the Sports Talk Network. You know what I'm saying? I am KG, and this is my boy Thomas from the Bronx.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody that came through, man. Salute to everybody that came through, show support. And next week we're working on the guests. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we get another good one.
And it will be a good one.
It will be a good one.
Until
if it's not, we'll blame Oddfella just for the hell of it.
We're gonna blame human resources. You know what I'm saying?
Blame HR.
Yeah, we're gonna blame HR.
Blame HR.
Until next time, man. Peace.
All right, be safe, y'all.
In Wilmington, Delaware, here is the battle-tested veteran, Kyrone. Shut it down, Davis.
A lot of shit I could say, a whole lot of shit I could, but I ain't gonna do you that way. I got a whole lot of shit as I stay. If I'm in it. Been a her shit like a corner, looking for smoke like a